People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, people at elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. I'm here to talk to you about spending more now to get a better value. That probably didn't make sense, but I'm going to show you something. There's a couple of things in my house that were added at the time that I came from Texas and entered into the collective that is Mom's house. Okay? Like this was one of the first pot holders I got when I was living in El Paso, Texas in 1985. Okay? This on the inside says carefully woven in the United States of America, 100% cotton, wash first, machine wash, warm, blah, blah, blah. And it's been a pot holder for 30 years. This was in my mom's house, okay? She's had to replace pot holders like these many times because this, isn't it pretty? It's decorative. It says, and I cracked up when I seen this, front 100% polyester, back 100% cotton, filling 100% cotton. So good so far, right? Okay, cold water wash, use mild soap. Do not use bleach. Do not use near open flame. Do not use near high heat. It's a pot holder. High heat is what it's made for. She had another one that said that, and the first time she used it, that happened. It says, do not use near high heat. Now, if you're going to have a pot holder, shouldn't you be able to use it near high heat? Now, this is Mom's favorite bowl. This bowl has been replaced 3 times. Okay, this is my favorite bowl. I brought this from El Paso, Texas, 30 years ago at a Tupperware party. It was the first thing I ever bought on my own as a grown-up. This bowl is huge, okay? It holds 32 cups, or 7.9 liters. Oh, does that say cups or does that say quarts? Yep, it says 32 cups. This could be used as a punch bowl. A lot of times I put it in the sink and I use it to hold the dishes. Because in the split sink, sometimes you lose that little device that, is supposed to stop up the sink. That thing turned up missing years ago. We bought, you go to Walgreens or Walmart or Target, buy a new plunger for your sink, standard size, and it doesn't work. It just keeps leaking. So put a bowl there. Now, I said that to say this. This bowl, made of plastic, had to be replaced 3 times over the years. This bowl, I still have. And every now and then, I put some bleach in there so that way the yellowing goes away. Because, 30 years, stuff turns yellow. Don't like that yellow effect. But hey, it's a great bowl. I use that for my soaping. I use that in place of a washcloth, a sink rather. Say for somebody's sick, that's the perfect size to carry to their room and give them a bath. It's literally the size of a basin. Now, another example, that's a stainless steel pot. It's slightly smaller than my stainless steel pot, but it had to be bought. The stainless steel pots that they bought for the house, young folks, they bought a stainless steel pot. It was black. what's that surface? You know, is it painted? What's it painted with? Oh, that's Teflon, blah, blah. It rusted in 2 weeks. That's not a good stainless steel pot. That stainless steel pot says 100% stainless steel. I can soap with that. For those that don't know, if you use aluminum, lye eats aluminum. So if somebody tries to give you a blend, you're going to know it if you happen to be a soaper. So when it was time to replace stainless steel pots, I made sure they got one of those. I spent a little more for years of use as opposed to this had to be replaced and then this had to be replaced and this had to be replaced, and it's the same thing. You know, this, it looks like a good idea at the time. Hey, here's a pot holder. We're cooking something in the oven. This can't be used near high heat. This is a pot holder. Okay, and this pot holder costs $1 at the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store or Dollar General or one of them dollar type stores. This I paid $7 for years ago. It still works. I can put it on the stove and it'll be a little scorch, but it won't catch on fire. So pick your battles, and if nothing else, decide what are you going to buy. Spend a little more initially to get a better deal. I mean, that's like I spent $30 for my first soap cutter. It was made of acrylic, so forth, so on. And then I bought this. This is a cheese cutter. I paid $40 for it. It's made of marble and metal. This will never break. The string on it, we call it a string, but it's actually a guitar string, which is made of stainless steel. That's going to be there forever. You could replace that string. Look at there. You could replace this whole part. This is made of marble. This is what I replaced it with. This is made of metal. It will never, ever, ever, ever break. You have to replace the moving parts like the, guitar strings every now and then. But the substrate itself, the frame that's made of stainless steel, and the separators, that's there forever. You would have to send it to a recycling bin and melt it down before you get rid of it. Instead, when it's time to get rid of that, if that ever happens, I'll do the same thing that was done to me. Someone gifted me that, so I will just gift it to a fellow soaper. The cheese cutter, I don't use it to cut cheese because it's a food item, and I use that for soaping. And as you know, I don't combine my soaping items with my food items. But yeah, that cuts soap perfectly, and it will never, ever, ever break because it's made of marble. Now, there's only been one issue with this thing in 5 years. This is the foot. I just glue that back on some wood glue every now and then. But say, for instance, I decided, okay, I can't deal with gluing that thing back on, then I'll just pop off the other 3 feet and still work. Because that's a little plastic thing that I'm gluing onto a solid slab of marble. We can remove that and the marble will still work and life will go on. In fact, it might work better as a cheese cutter without the little feet. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay. These. Now, when it's time for a flat surface, it's better that that's not there. It's only still there because it came with the unit. And every now and then, I glue it back together so that way it's pristine condition. And then, speaking of things in pristine condition, my soaping scale that I spent $40 on, still have it. It's in the storage unit. And then I have this I paid $20 on. If you can tell, it makes noise. There's moving parts that have fallen apart. Somebody in this house who has dementia, and I'm not talking about mom, didn't know what it was, so they decided to pop it open and broke the scale. And I had to glue it back down, so forth and so on, just so I have a usable representation. And that was kind of like the reason why I put most of my soaping supplies that's important to me in storage, so that way people that have this issue, until they get the official diagnosis, that way everything's safe. But that little $20 scale is like, if I had spent $40 like I did my original scale, it would still be in one piece. Sometimes you have to spend a little more to get the higher quality, to have something that works for years. That goes for my Keurig. This I got on credit via Fingerhut, because what it costs to just get, a little generic brand would have worked, but it would have broke down in less than a year, so forth and so on. That one is going to last for years and years and years and years and years and years. It's Keurig. It's not Keurig style. It's an actual Keurig. It was worth it to me to spend a little extra, because the amount of coffee I drink, let me put it this way. I've gone through 19 Mr. Coffees in my life, 2 Proctor Silas's, and 1 generic name that I actually won in a contest. I don't know who made it, but it's there. We've had to replace it because the cord sparked, or because the glass broke, or because the cleaning process or whatever got gook stuck in there, and the vinegar rinse didn't work anymore, and because it was 20-30 years old, and they don't last that long. That Keurig is going to last for years and years and years and years and years. Now, I'm old school. I like getting a big old pot of coffee and pouring into it. But when you have people that, Mom doesn't drink coffee as much anymore. She's got dementia. My Aunt Faye never drank coffee. She's allergic to coffee. And I drink a lot of coffee, but not all at one time. So to make a big old 10-cup pot of coffee or 12-cup pot of coffee, and I drank 2 cups of coffee and then it sits there, it might mold or something. That's not a good deal. Whereas now, when I first seen the Keurig, I didn't get it. It's like, why would you want to do individual things of coffee when you drink a certain amount of coffee a day? But now, if I just want a cup of coffee, I got a pot for a cup of coffee. And if I only drink 2 cups of coffee, that's only 2 pots. If I drink 3, if I decide to go crazy and drink 8, like I did when I used to drink a whole pot of coffee, that's fine. I still had the wherewithal to do that. But if I don't, there's no waste. So to me, it's worth spending that little bit of extra for the quality and the ease of life that it affords you. So when it comes time to spend money, pick your battles. Decide, is this something that I need for now, or is this something that I'm going to need for years and years and years? Because if it's something that you're going to need for years, make one investment. Make one payment of, it's like that Tupperware pot. I bought it at a Tupperware party. I'm actually going to look into getting another one, because, that one's mine. And when I move, it moves with me. Mom might need one for her house. So if that's the case, I would end up gifting her one, or gifting her that one and take the new one. But in the meantime, I invested $30 30 years ago. So not only has it paid for itself, but it's standed the test of time. It's the same pot that I've had since 1984. The other one over there, this one has been replaced 3 times because it has leaked. It has you know, had little issues. It has crumbled. One of them actually crumbled because the plastic just wasn't up for lasting 10 years. So, yeah, invest wisely, invest once, and then use those products for years as a legacy. And then when you're done using those products, pass them down to your children, and they can pass them down to their children, and you have an heirloom type thing going. Anyway, this has been People of 7 on Twitter and YouTube, People elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com, and my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. Y'all stay blessed and stay tuned. I replaced my oil, so you know there's a soap coming. Yep. Y'all stay blessed. Bye.